Have you ever looked at a price label in a store and suddenly noticed something strange hiding in plain sight? Why is the word pound written as LB? There's no L in pound. There's no B in pound. So where did those letters come from? It feels like something doesn't match, like a tiny mistake we've all quietly agreed to ignore. But it isn't a mistake. Those two small letters are actually more than 2,000 years old. They come from a world of Roman marketplaces, traveling merchants, medieval trade routes, and the slow transformation of language across centuries. And once you understand their story, you'll never look at those letters the same way again. Welcome to Ordinary Things, Deep History. Today, the abbreviation LB appears everywhere around us. On supermarket shelves, on delivery boxes, on gym equipment, on construction materials, on airline baggage limits, on ingredient labels and recipes passed down through generations. It feels completely ordinary, so ordinary that most people never stop to question it. But hidden inside those two letters is a story that began nearly 2,000 years ago, in the crowded marketplaces of ancient Rome. Imagine walking through a Roman market early in the morning. Stone streets still cool from the night. Merchants arranging goods on wooden tables, sacks of grain stacked beside baskets of fruit, clay jars filled with olive oil, bundles of wool waiting to be weighed and sold, buyers negotiating prices, voices echoing across the square. In a world without digital scales or printed labels, trade depended on something simple but powerful: balance. At the center of every market stood one essential tool: the balance scale. Two metal plates hanging evenly from a beam. Goods placed on one side, standard weights placed on the other, and when both sides aligned perfectly, the trade was fair. The unit used to measure those weights was called the libra. The word libra meant balance or scale. It referred both to the measuring device and to the unit of weight itself. It represented trust between buyer and seller, consistency across cities, reliability across long trade routes. In modern terms, one Roman libra weighed about 327 grams. Not exactly the same as today's pound, but clearly recognizable as its ancestor. Because the libra was used so frequently across the Roman Empire, merchants needed a quick way to write it. So they shortened it. They wrote LB. And without realizing it, they created one of the longest-lasting abbreviations in human history. But the English word pound did not come directly from the word libra. Instead, it came from a longer Latin phrase, Libra Pondo, which meant a pound by weight. Over centuries, Latin slowly changed as the Roman world transformed. New languages developed, pronunciations shifted, spellings evolved. The word pondo gradually transformed into the English word pound. But the abbreviation LB, taken from Libra, remained exactly the same. So today, the word and the abbreviation come from different parts of the same ancient phrase. Every time you see LB, you are seeing a fragment of Latin still alive in modern English. It's like a fossil from another age preserved inside everyday language. After the Roman Empire fell, Europe changed dramatically. Borders shifted, kingdoms rose and disappeared. Trade routes expanded and collapsed. But something surprising happened. Roman measurement systems didn't vanish. They continued influencing everyday life for centuries. Merchants still depended on familiar standards. Markets still depended on trusted weights. And the idea of the pound continued traveling across Europe. But there was one problem. There wasn't just one pound. There were many. Different cities used different versions. Different kingdoms defined weight differently. Different professions used different pounds depending on what they were measuring. A pound of silver could be different from a pound of grain. A pound of wool could differ from a pound of spices. For traveling merchants, this created constant confusion. Imagine carrying goods across several regions and discovering your pound changed slightly in every town you entered. Prices had to be recalculated. Weights had to be compared again. Trust depended on agreement. So rulers and governments slowly began standardizing measurements, step by step, century by century. Eventually, the version that became most widely accepted was called the avoirdupois pound. This is the pound still used today in countries that follow the imperial measurement system. It equals exactly 16 ounces, or about 453.592 grams. So while the measurement itself slowly changed across centuries, its abbreviation remained untouched. LB survived everything: empires falling, languages evolving, borders shifting, trade expanding across continents. But the story of the word Libra goes even further than trade and markets. There's another place many people recognize the name: in the night sky. Libra is also the name of a zodiac constellation. Its symbol is a set of scales. And this connection is not accidental. Thousands of years ago, scales represented balance, justice, fairness, order, harmony. The same idea connected marketplaces on Earth with patterns in the sky above them. So every time you see the abbreviation LB, you're indirectly referencing a symbol that once connected trade, measurement, and even the movement of the stars. Not something most people think about while weighing groceries. At this point, you might be wondering something even bigger. If pounds come from ancient Roman measurements, why are they still used today? Why didn't the entire world switch completely to kilograms? The metric system was designed to be simple, logical, universal, based on powers of 10, easy to convert. And today, most countries use it. But measurement systems are not just scientific tools. They are habits built into everyday life. Recipes depend on them. Construction depends on them. Manufacturing depends on them. Education depends on them. Trade agreements depend on them. Once an entire society builds its systems around a particular measurement standard, changing everything becomes extremely difficult. That's why countries like the United States continued using pounds as part of the imperial system. And once again, the abbreviation LB stayed with it. Think about how often you see those two letters every day: at the grocery store, at the gym, on delivery boxes arriving at your door, on ingredient labels in your kitchen, on airline baggage limits before a flight. They appear so often that they almost disappear into the background of daily life. But now you know their story. Those two small letters are not random. They are older than modern English, older than most countries alive today. They are a surviving fragment of the Roman world, quietly continuing their journey through history thousands of years later. Sometimes the smallest details around us carry the longest stories. And sometimes the most ordinary things are the ones most deeply connected to the past. This is the hidden history behind one of the simplest abbreviations we see every day. If there's another ordinary thing you've always wondered about, tell us in the comments. And subscribe to Ordinary Things, Deep History for more stories hiding in plain sight all around you.